Hey guys, I picked up this Super Nintendo today at the flea market and it is nasty. Look how gross that is. I got it real cheap though, and there's a problem though. Back here where the power cord goes in, it's missing the little connector thing. So I can't even try and power it up to see if it works. But worst comes to worst, this shell, it looks really like gray, like clean gray underneath all that dirt. It doesn't have any of that yellowing to it, so if anything I can try and just use this shell and put on a Super Nintendo that I already have that works fine. Either that, or I can have a Super Nintendo that I can't get to work. Maybe I can take that piece out, put it in here, and see if I can get it to work. So this is gonna be a before and after video. So this is the before, obviously, and I'll take a video afterwards so you guys can see what it looks like after I get it all cleaned up. I'm gonna take it completely apart. I'll make a video so you guys can see what the inside looks like when I get it open. So yeah. While I'm at it, I can show you guys a little trick that I picked up. I actually have somebody else's YouTube video. I wish I knew who it was so I could give them credit for it. But if I can find them, I'll put a link to his video in my in the description of the video. But if you don't want to buy the bit to take apart these special security screws that they have in the Super Nintendo, you can take a Dremel. You can Dremel just, I wish my camera would focus better. You can Dremel like a piece of the screwdriver, a flathead out, just so there's little prongs on the outside, and that gap will actually allow you, see if I can show you, to go on there. And it's a little tricky. Let's see. You can see it'll catch in those grooves and unscrew it. So there's a little trick for you guys if you want to open up a Super Nintendo that you have. Alright, so I just got all the screws out, so I'm gonna open up. It's the first time I'm opening it up. I haven't seen it yet, so we'll just see it for the first time together. Oh, look how nasty that is. There's like a ticket in there. There's a spider on it. It's so gross. The board itself looks pretty clean. Doesn't look too bad. The inside, not too bad. Can wash all that out. I think while I'm at it too, since I have it apart, those little prongs right there where the game cartridge goes in, if you take those out with a Dremel, if you file them down, you can actually play Super Famicom games, and that's the only thing stopping you from playing them. If you look on the back of a Super Nintendo cartridge, you'll see that there's little slots that are cut out where those grooves will fit in it, but the Super Famicom games don't have that. So since I have it apart, I guess I'm going to take those out. Okay, now once you get all the screws out, the board will pop out, and here's a switch. This is where the controllers goes. You can disconnect that ribbon cable if it makes it easier, or you can just leave it on. I might do that later because I'm gonna have to clean this up a little bit. You can either choose, I guess, you know, how bad you want to refurb your system. You have some screws on the back side of the board that'll release these metal pieces up on the top. I'll probably get around to doing that. I'm gonna just work on the shell right now. But yeah, these metal pieces you can wash off. Just make sure you don't get any of these components on the inside wet, like the board. When you do clean it, use rubbing alcohol. But like these plastic shells right here, this plastic, all that, the first step in washing that is just gonna be rinse it all off. Get as much of that off. So that's what I'm gonna do now. I'm gonna go and just rinse it with some water, scrub it down a little bit, and then I'll show you what to do from there. So I started to scrub it down, and I forgot one thing. Obviously you have to take the buttons off and the little pieces. So there's a bunch of screws on the back side of here. So take off all those, that way you can get, you know, underneath the buttons, all that. Also, I'm gonna want to take that off, and if you want to take it off as well, to take the Dremel to take those little prongs out so you play Super Famicom games. You know, obviously this makes it easier. If you take it apart, you can get a nice cleaner shave on it. So yeah, don't forget to do that. Okay, I have no way of holding my camera when I use a Dremel, but I'll show you. Those are the prongs now that I'm going to Dremel out, and then I'll show you guys what it looks like afterwards. Alright, there you go. That's what it looks like without them. I did a pretty rough job on it. If you guys want to take the time to make it cleaner than I did, go for it. But I don't know, it doesn't really matter to me. You're not gonna, I mean, you can see it if you look for it, but whatever, once the game in there, it's not even gonna matter. So there you go. Alright, so here's where we're at. This is just scrubbing it with some laundry detergent, liquid laundry detergent I use, and a spare toothbrush I had. If you don't have a spare toothbrush, just use your own. That's a joke. Nobody do that. That's disgusting. Just go to the store and buy a spare toothbrush. I think it works the best because lots of the smaller cracks you can get into it. So yeah, so there we go. I'll show you the bottom real quick. Just, if you're worried about the stickers coming off, you know, getting it wet like this could be a problem. But if you're just keeping it for yourself and you're like me, you don't really care if they come off. It's no big deal. The next step would be using a magic eraser. I don't know if you guys are familiar with that, but they're used for like scrubbing things. Just like a little sponge that has I guess like a cleaning agent in it, and it doesn't work on everything, but lots of the spare marks that you have left over, usually you can clean it up pretty good. So I'm going to do that, see if I can get any more of it off, and then we'll work over on the actual system itself, the board. Alright, as you might guess, there's not a whole lot we can do with the board itself. What I did is I just took a Q-tip and just tried wiping off any of the big specks of dirt. Also what I did is, you know, I talked about the power thing in the back. It doesn't have like the plastic prong in there for little metal pieces. Well, I just kind of bent the metal pieces together and stuck the power cord in, and it actually worked. I got it to turn on, and I put a game in it, and it plays. So that's good news. So I'm going to put this board actually back in the same housing that we're cleaning up right now, so it's going to stay together. So yeah, kind of happy, but at the same time I don't want to start a fire or anything if there's a problem with that electrical. But maybe in the future down the road I'll figure out a way to fix that a little bit better. There it is, the finished thing. It's all cleaned up now. I gotta put it back together, and we're missing the prongs in there, so that's good. We can use it as a Super Famicom, or Super Famicom now. And there's still a little bit of marks on the bottom that I couldn't get up, but for the most part, I mean, comparing it to what it looked like, this looks amazing. Let's go plug it in. I'll show you how it works. Alright, so this is it, the final moment of truth. We're gonna throw in Troy Aikman football. We got the light on, power, and it works. So if you're interested in refurbing your Super Nintendo, as you can see, it's not that hard of a thing to do. It might take you an hour and a half. I mean, you saw the condition that this one was in. It was pretty bad. If you like this video, let me know. Tell me in the comments if there's anything that you think I could do differently in future videos. Also, let me know. Go ahead and subscribe too to my channel if you'd like. I put up lots of video game videos, and I go on lots of vacations, so lots of videos from my vacations. So yeah, let me know what you think. Thanks for watching, everyone. Bye.